I just
Okay,
didn't know how important or how good we're talking. Like,
yes, okay. Well, welcome everyone to welcome to Wednesday Coaching Q&A Success Call, and we're thrilled to be here with you. But I don't know, do we want to lead out with that on the recording? Because what I'm going to share are some favorites that are on sale right now.
that's great.
You know, favorites, because it's Prime Day. Anyone else? What are you guys buying from Prime Day?
Listen, I am a staunch opposer of Amazon.
I know, but listen, I get
I've
it.
decided to boycott them, except for when I need to buy stuff.
Except for when I need to buy stuff. Exactly. Okay, listen, I understand. I do buy small as frequently as possible. And it's not either or in my world. It's the and, right? It's and. Okay.
Okay.
And
some
so
deals?
one of the things that we talk about here occasionally is my glow blend that are the amazing PS, you guys, if you don't have blue tansy in your life, you so need it. Like it is the best like skin oil, but I have a whole glow blend. You've already heard about it 1,000,008 times. If you're new here and you've never heard about it, we can talk about it again. But the organic rose hip seed oil that I use, this called Puradora, I'll put the link also in the chat box, is on sale right now on one of their Prime deal days. So I'm going to link that. Give me 1 second. For those of you that are making your glow blend or wanting to put that quality oil, that link is there. So that is on sale, right? That will go with your glow blend when you're putting your carrier oil with, you're making your glow blend with your other essential oils. And then my favorite lip mask and lip balm called Laneige. This is like every girlfriend I've ever exposed this to. And Andy, Brett uses it too. Men use it too, even though it comes, you can get various colors, various flavors.
Can you get it like in a camouflage container?
No, there's no camouflage container.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to picture Brett pulling that out of his man purse.
I freaking love you. There's no camouflage flavor. There's no Bud Light flavor. Okay. We're not doing that. But Laneige here, I do love camo. Don't get me wrong. I have some camo items, but this is a lip mask or the lip balm. I'm going to send you the link to this too. This is on significant sale. Like even Laneige, the home company, I've never seen it this low as it is on Amazon yesterday and today, right? Love this stuff. Let me get you that link. 1 second.
Love it.
Anyone else? What are you guys buying from the Prime? That's about all I've seen. I've seen some other people talk about things they're buying, but I'm
Shelly
just
picked up a new Ring doorbell. Jennifer's getting school supplies. And Elaine's getting workout clothes. So all the good things.
Gotcha.
Meanwhile, I'm over here Googling what the heck is a lip mask?
Well,
hide your lips?
yes.
Okay.
Listen, someone else help me out here, guys. I mean, I can't always be the one to educate. Guys, you need to help me. But yes, so Andy, listen, there's like, chapstick, which I love. Like doTERRA has an amazing chapstick. It's right here. I use it regularly. I love it. This is just like, if you want to feel like Marilyn Monroe or Audrey Hepburn, Jackie O, like you want to just have succulent lips that are like glossy and hydrated and you're just feeling vivacious.
Okay.
I'm saying that's where Laneige comes in, guys. It's like up-leveled lip love.
I can see why Brett would want that.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, listen, they can use that in their marketing. It's up-leveled lip love.
Okay.
Say it 3 times.
Up-leveled lip love. Up-leveled lip love.
Anyway, I just thought I'd give you guys a heads up.
Good stuff.
2 of my favorite self-care things that are happening to be on amazing deals. But again, if you're creating the glow blend, right, where you're adding, the glow blend is yarrow palm, frankincense, copaiba, blue tansy, and then you can add rose oil too. But then this is the rose hip oil that we're using. I always use to create the rest of that.
And for those asking what this glow blend is, I just put a link to it, sharesuccess.com/glow.
Look
So
at that.
Tiffany has been so generous to share this.
I know, I feel like behind the scenes, like, I should charge people for my recipe, but I won't. We'll just put good karma out in the universe.
That's right. Always comes
Yeah.
back.
Always.
The rose hip was the first link you put there, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll repost that in case anyone
Yeah.
missed that.
But it is July. And we also, there's another thought that I do want to share. Hold on. I got too many things that all of a sudden opened. Yeah. Okay. So here's, rose hip oil. Okay. Yeah. So here's the that should be the rose hip oil, Denise,
Oh.
that's now in the chat box.
Okay. That was the wrong one. Thank you.
Christina's saying to use that when you wake or before bed. And if you're talking about the glow blend, I use it at morning and night. And similar with Laneige, I use it often. I'll put it on at night, but you can use it. I use it all day. There's this one. And then they have the one I actually linked to is the more, this is like, again, you put your little lip mask business, but then I have one that's a balm that's just like a lip applicator one too.
Love it. Michelle's asking about the pre-convention classes that we've got on docket. So do you want to speak to yours and then I'll speak to some of ours?
Yes, we have. So I'm doing an event called Nourish. Isn't that the perfect name? Right. And we're doing, instead of being in this year, a large, huge event, we're doing an intimate gathering, and that will be in what's called Heber, Utah. So it's about 45 minutes from downtown Salt Lake from the airport. And so you can Uber there or you can carpool there. And it is a experience of like, you're going to come be nourished on yourself, right? You're going to come fill up you, matched with, then we're going to get out, have the flip chart out, and we're going to do sales funneling and content creation and business strategy of growing your business, right? One little statement I just want you to write down for me and remind yourselves in your notes is, as you're sharing your branding, your marketing, your doTERRA business, is you want to sell the destination and not the airplane, right? Is what you're helping people, you're selling and creating lifestyle and a vibe and an essence. And we'll talk in detail about how to do that, how to create that, like, ooh, I want what she's got, or I want what he's about type experience of how you're sharing that. So yes, I'm doing it just for doTERRA. So it's a doTERRA specific event. So we'll be using all of their language specific in sales training and marketing and so forth. But the event, as Andy put in the chat box, is myoilscoach.com is where all the details are on that.
So what if we've got somebody from like Juice Plus? Could they come?
I mean, they can come, but we're not going to use Juice Plus language. We're going to use doTERRA language. And Andy, look at his face. You guys, look at how happy he is right now saying that. Do you see his face? Look at his face. See how like the joy coming off his face? He's beaming. Because some of you haven't been here long enough to know that we had a call once that took a sharp left and we were both dying. It was so funny. I think you still have that on audio.
I think we need to make another webpage for that one, just so we can go back and cozy up to the Juice Plus call one more time.
Yeah. But someone was on a call, just like going like full throttle, was like having a moment. It was exciting. They were amped. And then they were like, wait, what call is this? And we're like,
so they weren't asking a question. So Tiffany finally, like after 4 minutes, she's like, okay, we're going to reel this in. Do you have a question? Like, did you actually raise your hand so you could ask a question? And their question was,
well, she just was like, well, I've been to the mountains. She's like, what company is this? And we're like, this is doTERRA. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, I've been with Juice Plus for years. And it was just the funniest thing. And it was like, well, everyone's welcome here. Hey, we don't know how you got our information, but she was telling us like, it was just so funny. She's like, I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the light. I bought a new Jeep. I'm a Scorpio and a 7, and I am ready to change my life. And we were like, yes, go girl.
You
Now, do you have
go.
a question? And then she was like, well, wait, what company, what call is this? And we were like, oh boy, that's not good. Like, what's happening here? And it was so funny. So this is why Andy's laughing, because he's like, he's just bringing in history where
Oh.
we were dying, you guys. We have this on, we've got it on audio somewhere because Andy
Yeah,
and I played it for each other.
luckily, this is back in the day of freeconferencecall.com.
Yes.
As if you could have seen our faces, like
Yeah, we're not on video because we would have probably been like, holy crap, what's happening?
oh my gosh, this
Yeah,
was
no, Marie's saying like, this isn't been recent. No, you guys, I mean, we're talking, we've been doing, you guys realize we've been doing this like for 10 years, like a
Yep.
decade. We're like the Today Show in
Yeah,
the
that's right.
doTERRA world. It's like, we're not going anywhere.
We're giving the Tabernacle Choir a run for their money.
Yeah, we are.
So look out.
So this was probably no joke, like 7, 8 years ago. How long have we been on video for? 3 years, 4 years?
I was thinking longer, but maybe it's only, I
Yeah.
want to say 5, but yeah, I'll have to go back and check the archives.
Yeah.
No,
Jennifer's asking us if it's someone we know in doTERRA. No. She's like, she has a Jeep. Is it her? No, it's not her. It literally, the woman was not connected to doTERRA. She somehow got our information. Maybe someone posted it online somewhere. She was in a totally different company. Juice Plus is a different direct sales company, which is great. But we were like, oh my gosh, how did you find us? And she was like, I was led here. And we were like, clearly. Anyone else? Were you led here?
that was
We've
one
done
for the
some fun
books.
things over the years. You know, we love it when you guys keep us on our toes. You know, because usually we're just talking about essential oils. We're talking about how to sell. We're talking about, you know, how to keep our mindset in a good spot, how to be more effective and focused. And then sometimes we love when we just get an amazing out of the blue, like shake it up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to change things up. Okay, Karina says she's got a question. Do you have any other thoughts before we jump into questions, Tiff? I think Karina.
We're good. I'm ready. I mean, I'm ready for questions. We've covered lip care, skin care, the mountaintop. I mean, we're ready to actually coach now. Oh yeah, Andy, you need to share about the classes you guys are hosting pre-convention.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so we have, I think we just been starved after COVID, so we're just kind of coming back with the fury with all the events. So I'll be coming to Tiffany's event and I'll be training some there, but we're also doing a doTERRA specific business training and we're doing an emotions training. So you can hop on and check out both of those. The business training is a global rank training. So basically whatever rank you are, there will be some general sessions, but then there'll also be some breakouts where you just get laser focused on what do you need at your current rank to break through and get to the next level. So so go to sharesuccess.com/convention and you can get all the deets there. The global rank retreat is a 2-day training. And the essential emotions training is like 6 hours, so kind of a half-day training. So unfortunately, you can't do all 3. You will need to choose between either the global rank training or Tiffany's amazingness, the Nourish event. So yeah, there's the link, but it's going to be a party either way. Somebody said they noticed that there's now a bus option from Salt Lake. I assume we'll pick a central location downtown, just because that's where most people stay for convention. I would actually have to ask my assistant because I don't know where that pickup is going to be. The global rank training it'd be applicable to anyone, whether they're building full-time or part-time. So it doesn't have to be just full-time builders. It's really just focused around best practices, key principles, and mindset. So it's going to be a great couple of days. Many of you probably noticed that doTERRA, normally they do an empowered success day, but they're not doing that this year. And so we're just feeling kind of this unmet need. So that's why we created the global rank training. So come party. It's going to be great. Also this week, we have another Experience doTERRA, Friday and Saturday. So hop on sharesuccess.com/events and check that out. It's a great place to bring your business prospects, people who are thinking about doing the business, or maybe they're a customer and they're thinking about doing the business. We just expose them to why it's a great business to partner with, why it's a great business model, who the owners are, and why they're the best people to partner with. I love what Seth Rismay said, like, to build doTERRA is basically to become business partners with billionaires. Like, how many opportunities are there in the world to lock arms with great minds like the 7 owners of doTERRA, who are mega successful, mega wealthy, and are offering to share their success with us. So it's a fantastic opportunity. We're super pumped to be sharing this. And by the way, this is how we built. So we have a new team that we launched right as COVID started, and doing Experience doTERRA is the primary training that we offered to them and their team. And now they have 2 blue diamonds, 2 diamonds, 4 founders 2.0. Like, this is the primary tool. So we're not doing any streaming of the events. We've found that it's such a, I don't know, such a downgrade of an experience that we will not be offering virtual. So we apologize for that. We do have recordings of emotions events that you could tap into. So that's definitely an option. So Marie's asking if Experience doTERRA is a good option for out-of-towners. I'm on the East Coast, so it's definitely an expense to get people here. Absolutely. So Natalie and I enrolled a couple from Florida, 6-7 months ago, and we're flying them out just to come to Experience doTERRA because it is worth it. It's worth it to show them like what doTERRA really is. Like, when they set foot on doTERRA campus, see the manufacturing, see the fulfillment. When they meet an owner, it's basically like a mini convention, and there's only one convention a year. And so if you can give someone a convention experience and it's available every single month, it is worth every penny. So we've even had people fly in from out of the country. We have a lot of people come up from Mexico. We had someone from Costa Rica last month. So yes, it's well worth it. Canada as well. So yep, well worth it.
Yeah, I love Experience doTERRA, like that opportunity to just like really kind of get the full like vision and experience and connection. And you guys just do such a great job of that. So I think it's a wise thing to encourage your folks to do that. So just a quick heads up, I just messaged my assistant and asked her to extend early bird because it expired July 1st to August 1st. Now we only have the like 20 tickets left, and we still haven't marketed it to my list or on social at all. It's just been more like here word of mouth, or some of my past clients, some of my international clients in doTERRA will be there that are flying in and coming to that. And again, it's just the one day, September 12th. Nourish. Andy's going to come to that and be part of it. But if it's something that, if you want to be part of that, we are going to do marketing that will start in this next week. So we've got about 20 tickets left. So if that's something you want one of those, then invite you to get one. myoilscoach.com, and we've extended early bird pricing to August 1st.
Love it.
Okay, loves. All right. Should we take Karina's question? She said she had a question a little bit back.
Yes, I invited her to be a panelist and she declined.
Okay.
So I don't know if she wants to come on live, great. You can even just do audio if you'd like. If not, just go ahead and type your question in the chat. Yes, Maria came out to experience doTERRA from Pennsylvania. We have a huge team in that whole area of West Virginia and Pennsylvania, and they come out and they bring their people. So yes, it's a great event. Okay. All right, I think Karina is joining us now. Okay, Karina, I think you're on live. Welcome.
Hi, sorry, I kept hitting that wrong button. I'm like, nope, not attendee.
You're great, no worries.
Sorry. Okay, so I know I worked with Tiffany Peterson quite a bit, just did some of her coaching stuff. And she told me a while back about just getting clear, because I like to get a lot of things going, because I've got, I find my top strength is restorative. So I like to solve problems. And if there's a problem, which usually is lack of money or, moving 10 times in a year, then I'm like, oh, well, I could do this and it makes some extra here and extra there. And then I just end up having too many things going. So my question is, I always want to keep doTERRA at the top, but I cannot do it full time right now because it doesn't bring in instant income that I need. And so the balance. Right now I have 3 different companies. Well, I have doTERRA, and then our cattle business, and then a cleaning business, which Tiffany, I'm trying to let that go. But it's a process, training people and finding people to, with integrity and honesty that can take that over. But so eventually I'll just have the cattle and doTERRA. But how do I just stay in the balance and keep the focus?
Okay, do you want to lead out?
Well, first of all, love, it's so good to see your face. I always love seeing you, and I love your vibe and energy. How many of you can relate to her question? It's like, how many of you, I heard a friend of mine who is also a business life coach. She said, I identify as being multi-passionate, right? Anyone else? Like, how many of you are multi-passionate? And some of those are passions. You're like, oh, I'm multi-passionate. I'm interested in lots of things. And some of it's also a core need, like, hey, I need to create income. And so I have this income producing lane, but I'm really passionate about doTERRA. I'm really passionate about coaching, or I'm really passionate about what this thing is here for a lot of people, but it's like, it's not maybe yet creating income, right? Anyone else can, identify with that or address that. And so you're not alone in it. I think one of the biggest things that has helped me when I have multiple projects going, because I don't have multiple businesses going, but I have multiple projects within a business, or so many different ideas and things we can be doing, let alone maintaining what we've already built, right? And someone asked me the other day on Instagram questions, how do you do it all? And it's like, well, I don't do it all. I make decisions. I love the book Essentialism, right? And I always come back to that book at least once a year of really getting clear on my core essentials, right? That might be something to put back in your ears to just be listening to, is to making a lot of our life experience for any of us to grow requires us to make decisions. And so I don't do it all, but I also have a team, right? I have 3 salespeople that work for me. I have a virtual assistant. I have home support. I have a podcast producer. I have someone that helps me with social graphics and some content creation. It's like, when everyone thinks, how does this one person do it all? I'm not doing it at all, right? To just be so transparent. It's like, I'm running a very successful business that requires team. But when I was bootstrapping and just getting started, I did do it all. And so what's really important when I'm in growth mode, right? How many of you say I'm in growth mode right now? If you're in growth mode, If I'm in growth mode or I have projects, right? Multiple projects where you have multiple businesses, I have multiple projects and they all feel really important. When I am in growth mode or I have multiple projects, in your case, multiple businesses, I have to become a ninja. Say the word with me, ninja, with my time management. And so with time of being, and again, it isn't like, but I'm a big fan of time blocking. So the other thing I want you to do, love, is I want you to log back into your Success Academy recordings in the next 24 hours. And I want you to listen to session 3. That's the most downloaded session of all 8 sessions of all 8 weeks, is around time management and, prioritization. Because you guys, sometimes we think, oh, I need 40 hours a week to build doTERRA. No, what you do need though are focused, dedicated blocks of time. Even if you had 5 hours a week, but those 5 hours were like, you protected those 5 hours like a ninja and you were intentional, you're focused. Because see, a lot of times when we're building a business, we're tinkering with it like a hobby, right? If we're just honest. And we're like, oh, I'm kind of a little of this and a little of this and a little of this, but growth must be intentional. I remember years ago hearing, I was attending an event with John Maxwell was in town here in Utah. And I went out to one of his events and he said something that I was like, that's so good, where he says, aging is automatic. And I was like, yeah, trust me, I know, right? You don't have to work at aging. It happens, He said, but growth must be intentional. So I think the power of this, my friends, is just like coming back to is like, absolutely, is even if it's 5 hours a week, Karina, but those 5 hours, you're clear. Like, when are they in your schedule? When is your doTERRA building time? And if it's not clear for you or anyone else listening, get really clear. And you go, you know what? Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to noon, or from 7 to 10 p.m. at night, or wherever you can fit, but you're clear about when am I doing what? Because without the clarity and without the boundary, without the time block, is you don't need 40 hours a week, but you will need some consistent time to water that garden. And by deciding and just having that clarity of like, this is when I'm in cleaning business mode, these hours, this is when I'm in, if you're supporting anything with the cattle, with your family business, or, and then of course, family time, self-care time, but this is when I'm growing and building doTERRA. And even if, again, you guys, it's 5 hours a week, it's not 40, but it's intentional, it's honored, it's nourished, it's consistent, you will see progress. Super powerful. So it's just coming back to time blocking, right? When you go, oh, okay, when is it going to fit in my schedule? And again, when I'm in growth mode, I get ninja-like with my schedule. When is what? What's a yes? I get really intentional also in session 3. When you re-listen to that, one of those core 7 steps that walks you through time management, it'll talk about eliminating or managing your distractions. Is if I'm in, again, it's like, okay, I get rid of, or I manage or mute my distractions if I've got to produce, create, or get things done. So those are the skills and the tools side of it. I think the mindset part of it is just coming back to visit your vision, your why you're part of this, what you want to see happen, and giving yourself. One of the things I felt strongly coming on today, something I was listening to in my own morning prep today before we got started, my own morning fuel, if you will, morning ritual, was being proud of yourselves. Like, you guys are in the arena. And even if you're not like full throttle, you're putting yourselves out there. You're on the entrepreneurial journey. And like, that takes courage. And sometimes we can always be aware of how much more we want to improve and see progress and so forth. But I think also it's like, be kind to yourself, because knowing you and working with you in our past coaching experience in Success Academy, it's like, you can be really hard on yourself. And that will demotivate, that will zap your fuel. And so it's like, be clear about the energy that's fueling the desire too, where it's like, okay, no, I'm going to fuel also like, hey, I'm proud of you and you're working at this. Yeah. And then come back home to being more intentional and treating your business like a business. Like, when am I open? When am I closed? What are my office hours? Because I'm here with intention. but give yourself also grace too, that like you're managing multiple things.
I think I knew you were going to say time management. We already know what we need to do. We just so it made me think of like, okay, then why am I not doing that if I already know that? Like scheduling. I mean, I do it every day, but it's a little chaotic because it's not scheduled in. Because I was going to get on the computer several times yesterday, and we have so many things that come up randomly every day when you're on a ranch. It's like, oh, the yearlings are out. Hop on the side by side. We're going right now. And so I was so exhausted last night that it just didn't even happen. I was just like, I'm done. I'm going to bed. But I think the other thing that's been helping me that I've been trying to apply, it's not that easy. It's the thought is giving yourself permission is one thing, which is what you just brought to my attention when you said time management and scheduling, blocking. But my identity, like who I am. And that has been so huge for me, because for so long you're like, I'm just a wreck, I'm just chaotic, and you have those thoughts all the time, and it takes so long to like get rid of those lies that you've believed for so long that have just become your story. And it's like, it's so real that it like just pulls you down. So anyways, thank you.
Well, thank you for the vulnerability. And I mean, how many of you can relate to what she's modeling for us all? It's like, oh, we get to practice, right? Honey bunny, come home to practice. It's like, we're going to practice the identity and come home back again to the truth, which is like, yeah, I'm a powerful creator. I love Andy's language. I'm a limitless creator, right? That there is so much possibility, but we do have to, like any muscle, we get to strengthen it. And sometimes we're strengthening the wrong muscle, the lies, the negativity, right? We go, oh, wait, that's not what I want to strengthen. Come home to, you know what? I'm choosing in and I'm creating change, and we get to work on this as we get to make progress with it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. But everyone's life, I mean, it's just like, I love, there's this meme I'm seeing going around a lot that it's like becoming an adult is really just like, in a week from now, things will really lighten up, and believing that lie, right? It's just like, it's just like, there's always stuff and there's busyness and chaos. I do feel like having intentional calendaring can absolutely help. Will it make it perfect? No. But the intentional blocks of creativity can definitely make a big difference, right? Where we're working on that and coming home to that. Andy, what do you want to add to this?
I am so grateful for what you share, Tiff. I just love this idea. The reason that so many people get into network marketing is the appeal of working from home, right? Owning your own schedule. The reason why most people fail at network marketing is because you work from home and you own your own schedule.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just, I think we've been programmed to believe that I only treat a job seriously if I'm working for somebody else. And so I love how this whole question has brought us back to the awareness that really it comes back to, how do I value myself? How do I value my time, my energy, my effort, right? And so as long as you do, like you said, treat it like a hobby, you're going to be getting hobby results. If I can give everybody a little secret, like this is the dirtiest secret in the world of employees and employers, okay? Every employee is getting hired and getting paid at discount wholesale rate. That's why the employer is paying them, because they're getting more than what the money is worth. They're getting a discount on that person's time. Obviously, our time is worth infinite, right? It's the one thing you can never buy back. It's of infinite worth. And employers are paying you at a discount. So why is it that we treat employers with more command and more respect than we treat our own time? Why is it that if we have a contract where we're a 1099 employee, somehow that makes it like, oh, they own my time. But if we're our own boss, we don't treat ourselves with that same respect. So if you are in this deal to get results, if you are here because you want to make a difference and get paid for making that difference, then treat yourself better than you perceive yourself for a boss. Like, give yourself the respect of, I am worthy, my efforts are worthy of my best energy, my best focus. And this is why mornings are like so sacred, because that's when we bring our very best energy. And this is tough on a ranch, right? Like, that's also the best time to milk the cows and, like all the things, like before it's hot. So anyways, that's just my 2 cents on it. All comes back to give yourself the dignity of valuing your time and your energy, because that's what it all comes down to. No employer will ever value you like what you're really worth, because they wouldn't hire you unless they were paying wholesale rates. So anyways, that's just my little 2 cents on that.
I mean, hot to trot. That is, this is the content we need. I love that, Claudia. It's so good to see my girl Claudia here. And she's saying that just what she needed for a team call next week. She's going to transcribe it to French and share it.
I love it.
But it's so true. And I think, yeah, it's just powerful. I also love the reminder again of affirmations and so forth. It's like you're saying that morning time is like when your mind is fresh and you can. But even if one of the things that I teach in my time management section in that session 3 is to see your day in 4 quarters. Right. And so even if, let's say your morning, you go, oh my gosh, I didn't have the best morning. My kid was up at the barfs, or this happened, or this thing, or blah, 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 or the cattle got out, is you go, great. We didn't have a great Q1, circle back up, right? Halftime and so forth. Like, see your days in productivity blocks of Q1, Q2, 3, and 4. And you go, oh, okay. And sometimes we come back to it, but it's nourishing your brain ideally first thing and coming home to vision. And what am I creating? What am I producing? That's another question in that session 3 training we talk about is productivity, is what am I producing in this time block, or what am I producing today? And even if the productivity or what you're producing is being present with your kids at the pool this afternoon on summer break, you're intentional about what I'm producing is presence, right? And the power of that. And so the more that we just come back to being intentional and that we protect that time, we get clarity about it. But I love what Andy's saying is, again, like this it was just, that was so spot on, my friend. That was so good. And the concept of wholesale pricing, and it's like, wait a sec, I get to see this differently.
We all sell ourselves out, like so easily. Like it's I don't know any school that trains that you're of infinite worth. Like the whole design of public school is learn to be a factory worker. And so don't value your time too much. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's such a priceless takeaway. If we can all truly value our best energy, that's great takeaway for today.
Mm-hmm. So maybe that's one of the habits, one of the things any one of you needed to hear today, whether you're live or you're listening back to this recording, is recommitting to your morning ritual, your morning time where you nourish yourself, nourish your brain, And then get intentional about what am I creating today or producing today or when. Again, back to that concept of time blocks. You don't need 40 hours a week to grow a successful doTERRA business. You really don't.
No.
What you need is some intentional time that's nourishing of activities and people that help move the needle.
Yep.
So I love this question. Thank you so much, Karina, for asking that.
Mm-hmm. Good
All
stuff.
right. Who's next today? Who else has something you want to come on and share? It's something either an awareness, a breakthrough, an aha, or somewhere you're feeling stuck or you want to strategize intentionally in your business. Anyone want to pop on with us live? We'd love to have you.
Okay, Chaz is raising his hand.
Hello and good morning.
Hi, Chaz.
Nice to see you guys. I'm glad to be part of this. This is incredible each and every Wednesday morning, and then also listening to it back, replaying it throughout the week. It helps me so much. And I've begun to realize lately that I've been doing this more as a hobby. I thought I was doing it more part-time, but as I sit down and think about it, it's been more of a hobby. And I actually sat down with my wife, family, and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it in the calendar. I'm going to time block. I'm going to make this happen, not just for our family, but we're going to be helping so many people around our community, and who knows where it's going to go. But I noticed that the time that I have to put in my business is more of a time when people sleep. I have plenty of hours to do it during the night, and I've now figured out that I have 4 hours a few nights a week, like from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. or to 5 a.m. to be able to do the business. What income producing activities can I do at that time? Because I can't reach out to people or teach classes at that time. I'm just looking for some type of just income producing activities. And I realized today is going to be day one of this building my team, because I've got a small team, but I haven't nourished it like I could have and should have. And I really neglected it, and I won't do that anymore. But I'm starting all over, and I'm making today my day one after talking with my family, and I'm looking forward to doing this.
That's awesome.
Love it.
One day or day one, right? You decide. Thanks for inspiring us with that, Chaz.
Thank you. But yeah, what do you guys recommend that I can do in the midnight hours while the world sleeps to help move my business forward?
Well, I mean, sometimes you might have some night owls, you know what I'm saying? But I do think, Chaz, what I would say come home to is I'd revisit even though you said I have a small team, I'd revisit every one of those people on your team and connect and nourish. And are they actively ordering? Are they actively on LRP? But we connect with them. Again, I don't call sales calls. I call them connection calls. When, in sales training concept is like connection equals growth. I want all of you, if you want to put that on a 3x5 card, put it up there. Connection equals growth. Is I'd reach out and just nourish those folks intentionally and say, thinking about you and just would love to connect. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's family? Is there anything I can do to support you? What are your favorite oils you've been utilizing a whole lot? Are there any oils or products that you haven't utilized yet or very much at all? And let me help you brainstorm ways to do that. And then asking, what can I help you with now? Or what's up for you now? And just being that resource where you nourish and you ask. A couple podcasts back or shows back, I put that on screen for you all of what we call the converted user. Right? That will also be at the Nourish retreat. We'll be using that content as well as what we call creating converted users. Because when people are a converted user, they become a natural sharer, a natural evangelist. It's like me loving my lip Laneige. I love this stuff. And now I'm telling you about it, right? Or my Glow Blend, or how much I love Meta Power, or how much I'm loving Blue Tansy. I'm converted. And therefore I naturally am sharing some of those things. And so the more that we can show up with your existing folks, because it isn't about quantity, it's about engagement. You guys, you have get this. This is like a huge business sales concept. And whether you want to apply it to your social media marketing or to your sales volume, is sometimes we think, oh, I just need to enroll more and more and more. Yes, we do want to enroll more people. There's an asterisk on that though. What you want is an engaged community, right? Is that we don't, every network marketing company and every leader I'm coaching in several different companies, the challenge isn't, it's if you enroll people, but are they sticking? We call that retention, right? Are they ordering every month? Are they engaged? And so even whether you have, 100 people on your team or 100,000 people on your team, and similar to social media, you might have 100 followers, you might have 100,000 followers. What really creates success is engagement. And the more that you, Chaz, as the leader of your beehive, and whether that beehive, however big or small, and that's all relative, your team is, it's not about size, guys, it's about engagement. And so if you can go touch these people on your team and check in, how are you? What are you working with? And what active things are you using? What maybe have you not tapped into? Let me help you with that. How can I best support you? This is so, so powerful where you go, we're going to connect with that beehive first, because that beehive then goes out and finds other bees. And that's the concept of how you really grow in network marketing, is that the people within your beehive are out now recruiting other bees to come to the beehive. And so as best that you're creating community and a culture of community and they're engaged, that is a great place to start. And even if it is the middle of the night, send it on Facebook Messenger, send a voice text on Facebook Messenger or on Instagram DMs. That likely, unless, if someone's phone's buzzing or dinging them in the middle of the night, highly unlikely. I probably wouldn't text them at 3 a.m. or 12 midnight. But Facebook Messenger or email, you can send email, but on Facebook or Instagram and your messaging apps, you can send voice text or even video. Hey, it's Chaz, just thinking about you. I know it's late, but this is in my time where I'm rocking and just thinking about you. How are you doing? How's this? How's this? How's this? And here to support you.
Yeah, that sounds great. Some of the people on my team I haven't seen or talked to in quite a few years, and I was kind of nervous and trying to reconnect, but no, I see it now and I understand how important that is. So I thank you very much. And yeah, I didn't even think about leaving messages throughout the night on, Messenger and other places. So no, that's great. Thank you so much.
You bet. Bobby had the same suggestion, put video recordings in an email, attach them there. But any one of you that might be, I haven't talked to someone in years, I'm nervous, get over, you don't need to be. Just like, hey, I'm thinking about you and reaching out. And all it is, again, it's a connection. You're not reaching out and saying, hey, are you ready to buy more oils today? That's not the conversation. It can lead to that, but it's, hey, I'm thinking about you. How are you doing? Want to reach out, want to connect, see how you're doing with health goals, see if there's anything I can support you with. How are things going? Are there products? What products are you loving? Are there products that you haven't maybe opened or used as much? And I can brainstorm ways that you can do that. Again, just you're creating a connection, reach out.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I gotta go, so I'm gonna re-listen to this, but I appreciate you and I hope you guys have an incredible day and week.
You too, my friend. So valuable for all of us to be thinking about that. So thank you for asking that.
Yep. So powerful. Okay, we had a question earlier. I think it was Sally was asking, I'm coming to convention, but I don't have any team coming with me. And my upline's not active. So what do I do? How do I make the most of convention? And I love this question. So thank you for asking that, Sally. So first of all, my first tip to you is to look up your upline and just connect with them. Just say, hey, I'm coming to convention, I'm coming solo, would love to connect and plug into anything you might be doing. So a lot of uplines, especially like Diamond, Blue Diamond, they have some kind of gathering parties. They don't have to, but a lot of them do. So I would just reach out and say, hey, I'm going to be there. My direct upline's not coming. Can I plug into whatever you're doing? So this is the third call in a row that we've been asked, how do I look up my upline? People probably know who their upline like enroller or sponsor is. but to look beyond that, the only way I know is to look in your old back office and you mouse over wellness advocate services, and then you go down to upline listing. That view shows you their business name, their rank, their phone number, evening and day phone, and their email address, so that you've got lots of ways to connect with them. There's no excuse. Don't send them a message through the back office. Just use one of these other methods. I just noticed there's even a column for fax. So you could send them a fax. But seriously, that's one tip. There's a chance that they're not having any kind of gatherings, and they might be introverts who don't want to connect. That's fine too. My other advice is create whatever kind of social experience you want. If you want to have a highly social experience, like I can already see people on here who are saying, I want to connect with you, Sally. Like I'll be there and I want to connect with you. So that's what I love about doTERRA, is this sense of community. Like we are one family, and you can have as much of a social experience as you want to create. There are also countless Facebook groups that you could connect with. There are probably some that are created just for those coming to convention. But whatever group you connect with, just say, hey, I'm coming to convention. I'd love to hang out, grab a meal together, grab a coffee, and just create the experience that you want. Also, I would say, as you're attending the sessions, be sitting in the question of, who would this serve? How could I use this information, these tools, these new products to serve the people that I love? And you'll be blown away how quickly that thought gets answered, how quickly that prayer gets a response. Because when we come with the intention to serve and with that clear question, the answers come, and they come quickly. I'd also be thinking of, how can I share this information in a way that would serve those in need? You might make some posts along the way, but also be thinking, who can I direct message? Who can I, reach out to and personally serve with this information? So those are just a couple of my top tips. Tiff, any thoughts on that? On if you're coming solo, you want to make the most of your convention experience?
One, I just think you're so cool. Like, I want to just hug you and see you when you're in town. I'll be at the emotions training on Wednesday with the Goddards, so come find me if you're coming to that. Also, Bobby put this just to host some panelists, but she was saying, I have room for you. I have 7 coming and we have 2 rooms reserved. So if you want to reach out to Bobby Ogle, O-G-L-E. Bobby, if you maybe, again, there we go. Yep, switching it to everyone where you guys can perhaps get connected. And I just love this, but similar to what Andy was saying, is it's such a warm community. And there's several people here I know that would gladly just put their arm around you and have a meal together or invite you along. And so just show up, I guess, open right to that, and just knowing you're going to have a great experience. Sometimes I love going to an event where I don't know anyone, because then it's like, ooh, I get to kind of just see the magic of who I meet and who God connects me to, and just kind of following that draw of like, ooh, I'm going to go sit here and honor this, and this conversation evolves. I sometimes love that magic. Yeah.
Especially when you're in the mode of running a lot of events, going to an event that you're not running is a dream.
It's such a dream. Then you just get to receive and show up and be open to that. So. Yep.
It's so good to receive. Okay. I saw some other questions come through. Jackie.
Hey, Andy, I have to head to the orthodontist. Really sexy, I know, but I got to take off, y'all, to go to the ortho this morning, but love being with you. I'll be back here next Wednesday. Thanks, friend.
So much for joining us. We'll see ya. So Jackie's saying, I'm bringing a wellness advocate who isn't wanting to build a business any longer. I'm hoping this will excite her and spark interest. Any thoughts on creating a good experience for her? That's what's so cool about convention, is they have designed it perfectly to build belief. And so it builds belief in the product, it builds belief in the company, it builds belief in the opportunity. So without doing very much, just getting them to a convention, you have already done the biggest thing there is to do. So I would just be present with them and just be curious, just let them have that experience and then ask them questions, if they do, maybe they're doing some recognition and you just ask them questions like, gosh, how would that feel? What would that be like to have, if somebody hit silver, to have a couple $100 extra bucks a month, or, maybe they're at gold, maybe they're a couple $1,000s a month, like just getting curious and letting them kind of soak in those questions and not pushy, just curious. Can be a great place to come from. Okay. Yeah, Maria's suggesting we have a special button so that we can connect with fellow team members, kind of like a family history app, those apps that you can see how you're related to people. That'd be super cool. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. We will connect again next week.